What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin today at the request of Salim. Salim, we're doing this for you, my friend. The purpose of this video, you guys, is to talk about where I think Dogecoin is going to be by the end of its next move. If we look at the charts here, it's consolidating right up in this range right here, right? Where it's going to be by the end of this next move, where it's going to be by the end of the cycle. And then, of course, we can go over some relatively, let's call them conservative expectations, realistic expectations, and then just crazy moon boy expectations. Are they real or are they not? All that and more. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, you guys. Okay, so here we are sitting at about 36 cents on a weekly time frame here. And I think it's important. I think identifying what we're doing here might be a good way to start this off, right? We can finish with the long-term stuff at the end there. So on a weekly basis, looking at the weekly RSI here, we are in very good posturing, okay? Being in the overbought zone like this, getting consistent overbought readings and not seeing any oversold readings, let alone you're really not even getting below the 40, is a very bullish thing. And even on top of that, to take another layer, add that up there, you're really living above the 50 for most of your life too. So that's a good thing as well. Hanging out around the 60, looking bullishly charged, ready, frisky as hell to break out, and I think that you will to the upside. I suspect that Dogecoin will move up at a phenomenal pace and likely break $1 on this next move. I really do. The minimum target would be 80 cents, 86 cents, I think, but the expectation would be that it does break $1 by the end of this next move. Now that's not end of the cycle stuff, right? That's just the end of the move, right? Like this, what's a move? This was a move, and then you stopped, and then you moved, right? This was even a move, and then you moved up again. That's the end of the cycle. That's different, right? I'm talking about the end of this move. I think it will be above $1. If we look at the relative high here to the relative low, you pulled up to your 786, 886 area, found resistance, or sorry, support at your golden ratio, literally right at the 618. It's perfect. You look primed and ready to go all the way up to your 1272. All right, you're at 36 cents now. Dogecoin, it only knows one pace, you guys. When it's moving down, it's boring and slow. When it's moving up, it's crazy fast. It's very crazy fast. And the end of this move, by the way, I expect it to be sometime in February. If not, maybe mid-March. It could go on as late as mid-March. I am starting to warm up to that idea. I would just think for the timeline that I foresee the cycle going, it would make more sense, I think, to top off or at least find a momentary resting point in February. But it could happen in March too, so something to be aware of. We're at 36 cents now. Last time that we saw a move, it took us, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to complete, right? 6 weeks to complete from a low to a high right there. If we were moving, not from the low, but from this relative low, if it took us 6 weeks, that'd put us in like mid-February, end of February, something like that. So yeah, we could absolutely see that. And I think $1.54, I mean, literally, quite literally, this move that I measured, it's this. If we took it from the low here, not the actual low, but the low of like where the move's going to be, right? I didn't measure from the low here. I just measured from the low of where the move was. That takes you right up to your 1272. It's perfect. I couldn't paint it better if I wanted to. From a high to a low here, that also lines up with your 2886, 2618 area. I like that deep extended targets. Definitely expect that you would get there. I would at least expect $1.23, if not $1.54 by the end of this next move, which again we're expecting to happen by the end of February, if not sometime like mid-March at the very latest, okay? So is it a good time to buy Dogecoin? Probably. Why do I expect it to move up that fast? Just because it moved up that fast right here doesn't mean it has to move up that fast. Again, you're right, but here it moved up that fast. Here it moved up faster. Here it moved up faster, and there as well, right? In fact, every single time that we're not consolidating and we're moving to the upside, it's only at one, even in the consolidation phases, it's only at one pace, man. Dogecoin moves at a wicked fast pace. So undeniably, I would expect what it's going to do is probably it's going to sucker a lot of people in, right? It's been boring. It's been kind of boring since November, right? It's going to sucker a lot of people in. Getting up above $1, a lot of people are going to buy the hype that it's above the $1, and then it's going to consolidate. It's probably going to be boring for months after that and do nothing. Other cryptos will run up and it's going to be boring, but Dogecoin doesn't stop there. It has more to go, right? During that time where it's boring, people are going to be like, why are you in Dogecoin? It's not going any further. It's stopped at $1. It's going down. And then right whenever people are saying that the most, that's when it's probably going to make its final ascension up to this multi-dollar target that I have, which I do believe is going to be somewhere around, but maybe not quite 2, but I do think he will be right above $4. $3.95 is the 1618, the golden extension here, okay? You pulled up to your 786, 886 area, found support on your golden ratio. I expect that you will go to your golden ratio here for the end of the cycle. Now, the end of the cycle I expect for Dogecoin to be sometime in late 2025, October, November, December, somewhere in that time frame. The earliest I think is like August, September, but I very much think that we have a lot of time left in the cycle. The reason why I think that we're going to go to the 1618 is that's what we've done every cycle before. We go to the very first cycle high, the very end of, or the very beginning of 2014, to the all-time low here, high to low. Your very next cycle peak was right there at the 1618. It tipped it. You went just above it, which is why I think we could go just above $4, but it was right there. It was perfect, quite literally perfect. And actually, I think if we take a high to low here, a little bit above the 1618 that time, but no stranger with the 1618 either way, right? If we look at this cycle, you went well above the 1618 on this cycle, okay? From a high to a low here, you went all the way up to your 2272, but you did find resistance at first right there near the 1618, didn't you? It's pretty perfect. It is pretty serendipitous. From a high to a low here, that same 1618 is all the way up at about $4, right? And each cycle before, you've gone above the 1618. Last cycle, we went all the way up to the 2272. Now, I saw a post on x.com, and it made me laugh because somebody said, look, and it's kind of, it's even funnier because it's kind of exactly what I'm saying, but it's not the same. This is a bit more moon boyish, but they're like, look, this is what Dogecoin did last cycle, so all it has to do is do that same thing, and Dogecoin will be worth $25. It just has to do the same thing, right? And that's fair. Of course, that's all it would have to do to get above $20. But the thing is, you guys, Dogecoin, it is still a meme coin. It's a meme coin. It is a meme coin. It's a meme coin with purpose, probably more purpose than most meme coins, to be completely fair. Elon Musk is backing it. There's a lot of people in the world that back it who are rich, celebrity people, right? Famous people. And the crypto space definitely likes Dogecoin, but I don't think we're going to see a $23 Dogecoin, man. At $4, Dogecoin is going to be like a $666 billion market cap. At $8, it'd be over $1 trillion. At $20, we're talking about a $3 trillion market cap. So this is the moon boy target that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, $23, only because that's what we did last cycle. But I doubt that. I like Dogecoin. I'm a moon boy for Dogecoin. I really do love Dogecoin. It's one of my favorite memes, man. I don't think it's going to get up here, right? And this is coming from the guy that I bought down here last time, okay? And I did not sell until all the way down here. No, that's not true. I did sell at like 66 cents, 65 cents, somewhere up here, and then I sold along the way. I averaged out at about 14 cents though. I didn't get the top. I didn't quite round trip it, but I definitely could have done it better. But I'm just saying, I'm not, the whole purpose of that wasn't to say where I got out, it was more to say where I got in, right? I'm not the type of person who underestimates this shit, right? I actually had it's at 74 cents, that's the all-time high. I had my sell order set to 78 cents. I was so close, man. Or maybe it was 78 cents on the dot, quite literally 78 cents on the dot. So accurate or maybe not accurate, not completely accurate, but close enough to accurate, right? I don't think that we're going to see $23. I do believe we'll see $3.94, and if we're not exactly there, somewhere around there, somewhere around $4, give or take 20 cents in either direction, okay? If not there, if we don't see the 1618, again, unrealistic expectations, somewhat realistic expectations. These could be, $8 to $11. Again, you're getting above $1 trillion there. I don't think you get to that, personally. I don't think you get to that. Now we're talking about still realistic expectations, but on the more pessimistic side, I think $1.54 to $2.27 would be your pessimistic expectations for the market, right? If Dogecoin for the rest of the cycle, the MacDaddy meme coin itself, it can't even break $2 by the end of the cycle. That's a pretty weak move for Dogecoin. Still good, still new all-time highs, still seeing phenomenal market cap levels of that, multi-$100 billion market caps at that. But I really do think, the most pessimistic outlook we have is still a multi-dollar Dogecoin, and the most realistic outlook we have is a $4. If you want to be moon boy, you want to be retardio, I would say $23 is, or $25, something like that is possible. But considering anything in between $23 and $4, to me it just seems crazy. It's like either you're stopping at $4, $5, somewhere in that area, or you're going up to the 20s. You're not going to stop in between, because why would you stop in between? Either you're defying logic or you're not. That's essentially my perspective there. So I don't really think I have anything else I want to say. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button. Oh, you know what? There is one more thing I want to do real quick. I'm just curious because I'm a bit in disbelief myself. Sometimes I'll do analysis and I'll be like, do I even believe that? And that might sound bad to some people, right? But the thing is like there's a good bit of the time, man, where I will make calls that are accurate and I don't even believe them, right? Whenever Bitcoin was at it was at like below 60K in October, and I was calling for the price to be at new all-time highs by the end of October. I didn't even believe it when I said it, but I still said it because the data suggested that. It wasn't the end of October that we were at new all-time highs, but it was 5 days later, right? At the beginning of November when we were down, it wasn't me wanting to see the price above 100K for Bitcoin, but it was the data that said it would be above 100K by the end of November. I didn't even believe in that call, but I made the call based on the data, right? So what I'm trying to say here for Dogecoin, what even got me on this whole tangent? I can't remember. Oh yeah, because I'm expecting Dogecoin to do $1.54, right? That's the call, and I'm like, I don't even know if I believe that, because that move overall, that's a 4x, and a 4x crypto can do that. Any crypto can do that, but the average coin is not going to do a 4x. The average coin is probably going to only move up like a 2x or a 2.5x, you know, so something like that. Not a 4x. So Dogecoin being in the top 20 coins, top 10 coins, doing above average things, it just kind of doesn't sound right to me. But because it is Dogecoin, because it is this crypto that only moves up at a fast pace and it's boring at other times, I really could see that happening. I want to make sense out of this looking at the Bitcoin chart, okay? And again, that's, to me, my brain, I'm like, $1.54 doesn't sound right to me, but based off the charts, what I'm seeing in the charts, who cares what I think? That's not the point. You look at the charts and you're just emotionless, right? You just go with what the data is telling you. And to me, what the data is telling me is that we'd be up at $1.54, $1.23, something like that, or you know, in that range. It does look like you want to gain value versus Bitcoin, which is good, right? How much value are you trying to gain versus Bitcoin here? 53% to 76%. And I think BTC by the end of this move, let's see. I genuinely think it'll be above 140, so at least 46%. 76, that just doesn't add up in my opinion. 175, 80%. It's closer, but that still doesn't add up. Let's look, maybe I'm looking at the wrong chart. Let's look at Doge versus others. Or maybe Dogecoin, instead of stopping at the golden ratio, maybe you exceed it, maybe actually go up to the 786, 886 because you are breaking out of a kind of downtrend here. Actually, that actually might make sense. Look at this high. You run with these highs here, right? It's like you found resistance, and now you're finding support on this area, right? I don't think you stop at the golden ratio. I bet you exceed it and you return up to these highs, up to your 786, 886 area, in which case you're gaining 120% to 170% versus Bitcoin, maybe even more, and 120% versus 80%. Okay, it's a little bit more on track with what we're expecting. Still, though, I don't know. Bitcoin would have to grow a lot for Dogecoin to see that $1.54 kind of target. I want to look at the others chart. Let's just look at others. Yeah, we'll just look at. Because I expect others on this next move to see new all-time highs as well. High to low. You guys hit that like button if you want. Subscribe if you haven't. High to low. I think that this next move for others, yeah, it's going to be about 150%. 155%, so everything's going to see about a 2.5x. If we did Doge versus others, Doge USD, what do we got here? And it looks bullish versus others too, so I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not bullish enough on the Bitcoin chart is what I'm getting. Maybe it, I mean, to be fair, let's just look at this thing, all-time history. I mean, this thing moves up at one pace too when it really starts to get going, to be completely fair. What would be, does this one have more history? No, it doesn't. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the BTC chart is what's deceiving me, because the others chart, it does look like Dogecoin wants to gain value. And if the average coin we just established looks like it wants to do it at 2.5x, then there's no reason why Dogecoin itself couldn't do a 3x or more, right? Right? Am I right? Anyways, guys, I think I've said and done everything that I need to do, that I want to do. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. 36.3 cents now, $1.54 later. That would be a 300% move. I'm expecting altcoins to make a 150% move. And if Dogecoin gains value versus altcoins in the way that it looks, it's like it's going to. Yeah, it definitely does. I would think based off your 618, you at least would gain 50% to 70% versus altcoins. If the average altcoin is looking to gain, what was it? It was like 150%. That'd put you at least at a 3x. So at least at a 3x would put you at about $1.10. At least $1.10, if not $1.54. My assumption would be, I guess, maybe I'm being too conservative with these Dogecoin others and Dogecoin Bitcoin charts. That's the only way to make sense out of it. Anyways, take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.